What's going on, everyone? Phil here, and today is a very great day because today is Indie Day. Yesterday we had Indies Day. Today we have Indie Day. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle all day long. Everyone's been anticipating this game. People have been saying, shockingly, it is like the best game from Microsoft Game Studios in ages. I'm excited to jump into it. Obviously, we've been waiting all week to play it, and today is the day. But in addition to that, I've got even more setup upgrades. I know, like, every day I swear I come on here and I'm like, so we got some new stuff. We got some new stuff. People are like, every day? Like, this is ridiculous. Yes, it continues. So, more on that. We've got game news. We've got interesting schedule updates. I want to talk about the indie games I played yesterday. We've got a great show in store. So, sit back, relax, enjoy the holidays, because it's time for another awesome episode of the Level 1 Podcast.
Get ready for some meaningful content, because the king is back, the king of the live stream, the king is back. Woo!
Alrighty, everyone. Welcome to the show. It is Monday, the 9th of December, 2024. And to clarify, yes, lots of people have already been playing Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Reason being, they got review codes. And the game was actually available to play as of, like, I want to say, like, Friday. If either you got a review code or if you paid the insanely exorbitant price of like $80, $90 for the collector's edition that gives you, you know, a bunch of digital nothing. For me, I'm getting it on Game Pass. Therefore, I wasn't going to rush and pay extra money to play it, which is why we're playing it today on Game Pass, and I'll be playing it all day long. I am very excited, excuse me, for that. Now, today, we have a bunch of new things yet again going on. And so I want to explain what's going on because people might be wondering, why did the podcast start so late again today? So now that I have my new capture streaming PC and we have the gaming PC and we have all these things working, right? What I want to do is I want to get it like really refined and working with every single aspect of everything that I have. And as you know, I have a complex setup now. So a couple days ago, I got the Stream Deck working. And it's great. I love the Stream Deck. It's allowing me to seamlessly go between all of my stuff to use, you know, green screen technology. By the way, I still don't understand. Oh, wait, now I think I do understand. I was wondering why, when I switch to these scenes, sometimes they move, and I think I know why. Because in different situations, like different scenes, they're not lined up. So I just have to find where this one is so I can fix it. I think it's all the way at the bottom. It is. I see what's going on here. So in order to avoid this from happening, what I would have to do is stretch it like this. And now when I switch between, it probably won't affect anymore. I mean, now it looks stretched. It actually looks fine, actually. Actually, I think that looks better. I think that actually looks better. Because as you can see, these different scenes that I can now use. Right? Pretty cool. But anyway, I'm seamlessly able to do all this stuff on the fly simply by pushing buttons on a screen, which is amazing. You know, I'm switching between all of my different things. And the question is, I wonder when I'm going to finally run out of stuff to do and new things to adjust and add. Really, because every day it feels like I've got more and more stuff that I'm adding to this setup, and it's taking up time. And last night I kind of got wrapped up in it, and this morning I got wrapped up in it. And what I'm doing now is adding the ability to control all of my devices right here from the desk, so I don't have to move. So, for example, I can turn off my lighting behind me and turn it back on at the push of a button. I can change scenes. I can go from this to a blue flowing water scene to a cool rainbow scene where it goes basically between a whole bunch of different colors in like a big cycle. And I could seamlessly go between all of these scenes if I want. I actually created this particular scene for today where we're pulsating various red, orange, and yellow lights for Indiana Jones. Okay? But I can also now, I just set this one up, turn my light on and off. So if I want to sit here in the dark, I can. I don't know why I would want to sit here in the dark, but I could turn the professional lighting on and off with one button too. So as you can see, pretty darn cool. No, pretty awesome. I even have the ability, because now I set this up, that I can adjust my lighting. I don't need the app anymore that was on my phone. All my stuff was synced to my phone, but I'm realizing, why do I need the phone when I could just use the programs? So I have these programs now that I can use to adjust everything. This one's not working. Great. Yeah, this one is literally not working. I guess I got to exit and then reopen it. It must have glitched. So hold on. There it is. Okay. So I can even adjust my lighting right here from my desk and make it different temperatures. Like I can make this go like a little bit more green if I want. I think I had it on level 3 green, actually. Yeah, see, it actually does look a little better that way. Because you can take different tints of this light. I can make it more green, more red, you know, different to different sides. Or more yellow, more blue. So, anyway, I can totally mess with it now without ever having to lift a finger. It's all right here without having to mess around with an app or whatever, which is really good. So, it took a while, though. That's the thing. Like, all of these things are kind of, how can I say, they need a little bit of initial setup. Like, what you got to do is you got to download the apps for each individual device and put it onto your PC. Then you have to connect the PC wirelessly with a modem. And the thing is, I have one wireless router in my house. It's downstairs. And the wireless device in this PC wasn't that good, but it came with 2 big antennas. So last night I was running downstairs, going into the box for this thing that I have in the garage. And I said, oh, here's all the accessories I didn't use. Here's 2 antennas. I'm screwing in these antennas to try to get the wireless signal to be stronger, and it worked. The wireless signal like doubled in strength, and then I was able to connect down to the wireless router downstairs, sync my lighting, sync this lighting, and once everything was synced with the apps, then I was able to program in via plugins into the Stream Deck, and now the Stream Deck can control nearly everything in my setup. The only thing left, which I want to do but I can't do right now, I can't sync my lights behind me with my RGBs on my PCs. It doesn't work, which is bizarre because it's high-end lighting that I bought. I bought the Elgato Lightstrip Pro, which is expensive. It even has AI, which is really silly. What you do is you type in what you want. Like, let's say you type in Christmas snow. The AI will auto-detect colors that are associated with the words you type in. So if you type in Christmas snow, it'll give you like red, green, white, and blue. Or if you type in like desert sands, it'll give you like orange, red, yellow, and it'll basically alternate between them. But the AI doesn't really work. It doesn't really do much. It's kind of silly. So, but the weird thing is, this light strip doesn't sync with RGB programs. Like, what? Like, that's the whole idea, is that you get RGB light strips and then you sync them with RGB programs, and this one doesn't work for some bizarre reason. And it's an expensive one too, so I'm looking into that, trying to find workarounds or something as a substitute. But for the most part, as of now, I'm good to go. If you haven't noticed, last night I uploaded my first highlight in 9 days to DSPGaming. That's right. I took a highlight from yesterday's podcast, which was me showing off this new setup. I had taken pictures all over the office and showed you the pictures on stream. And then also, I went through my badge collection from back in the day when I used to go to gaming conventions and events. So I went through that collection and showed off all those badges and talked about each event. So I basically edited all that together in like a montage. And I uploaded that as a highlight. And it worked really well. I hope that you guys will check it out. It hasn't gotten tons of views or anything, but that's the kind of stuff I can do now. Instead of just clipping, I can actually edit these highlight clips together and skip parts that aren't important and jump around. Like, for example, right now, let's say I was doing this as a highlight, but then I did a shout out for a contribution, but then I went back. I could cut out the shout out for the contribution. See? But I need to have time. And that's the real challenge I'm facing right now, is time. Like, I wish that I had more time to work on everything, but I don't. Like, I know I can make the setup even better, but I just don't have a lot of time. Last night, I was in here late again. And I was like, why am I in here late? I promised my wife I was not going to be in here late. And then last night, I'm in here late. I'm like, what am I doing? I got to get out of here, you know? So I have to manage a way to learn how to do this new setup stuff, but also not be in here all this extra time. So that's my challenge right now, and it is a daunting challenge. Even last night leaving, I left at like 9:15. I said I gotta leave around 9:15, and I still wasn't out of here until after 10. I'm like, oh my god. Anyway, anyway, guys, welcome to the stream. I hope that you're ready for some fun today. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today, including some game news, which is interesting, a few different articles. We've got the Game Awards has finally narrowed down their Player's Choice games to only 5, and I think the final 5 for a lot of people are going to be pretty shocking, because I think some of the games that everyone thought were front runners for Game of the Year aren't even in there anymore. We got rumors that Valve is actually going to make a home console for video games, which is kind of a puzzling head scratcher. And AI has gone haywire because it looks like a well-known company, sadly, has been shut down temporarily because of AI. And we're going to talk about these stories today. Plus, I want to talk about the indie games that I played yesterday, all of which I actually enjoyed, and I'm looking forward to possibly playing more in the near future. So we've got a ton of things to discuss today, and I hope that you guys are ready for a fun one, because this should be a fun and interesting and chill podcast, all right? So, before we begin, all right, yesterday, we had the new stream goals in place. As you know, the way stream goals work now, there is no streak, okay? There is none. So there's no pressure that every single stream we have to hit the goal of $150. Now, it would be nice if we did. That would help a lot. And this, if we do it and if we hit it, the sooner you will get rewards. For example, once we hit a stream goal of 10, we will do DSP Tries It. When we hit stream goal of 50, we're either going to do a fun marathon day that you guys will choose what we do, or perhaps we could do like a viewer's choice event where you guys will nominate and vote for a game for me to play. And then when we hit the big milestones of 100, that's when we're going to do a big, giant celebratory event. In this case, it's going to be me doing the Stellar Blade playthrough you guys have asked for all year long. And then we reset back to 0 and we start over again. And we brainstorm the next big event to do. Okay? Some people have come up with interesting ideas like, hey, why not do a 5 Nights at Freddy's marathon where I have to play all the 5 Nights games? That's a good idea. I think we have a lot of ideas we can come up with now that we're doing it this way. Since there's no streak, there's no fear that we're not going to hit the goal and the whole thing ends, okay? So yesterday, on the first stream when I played 3 indie games, we hit the goal. On the late stream where I was playing Flight Sim, we didn't hit the goal. But the support was still outstanding. I think it was like $110, you know? So it wasn't like it was a horrible night or anything, but no one had bad feelings. No one was freaking out. No one was like, oh no, we didn't hit the goal. It actually went really well. So listen, as long as things stay consistent, I don't have a problem with this at all. I like this idea, and I think this is going to work. You know, now what I hope is that obviously in general, people will come by and support the streams, and it's not about the goal anymore, but people will still support, so that way, you know, things stay the way that they have. You know, my setup is this good because you guys have supported me so much this year. So obviously, we want to keep going, right? So let's keep it rolling. Notably today, please, new game release, Indie and The Great Circle. We've all been waiting for this one. From Machine Games, the makers of the previous Wolfenstein games back in the day. Everyone says this game is outstanding. I cannot wait to try it on my gaming PC and see how it runs. I hope you'll stick around all day. It's going to actually be both streams today. And we'll go from there. Now, if it's great, we'll keep it in the rotation. You know, I've heard great things about it, so I think we probably will play a playthrough of it. Let's find out. All right, so good stuff. And thank you guys so much. Let's keep it rolling, all right? Let's get the positivity going. Now, we already got some contributions, so let's shout them out, and then let's get to the topics at hand. First thing, I would definitely want to talk about the indie games I played yesterday, and then we'll probably talk about the schedule for the week, and then we got some new stories to cover, and then Q&A and the like, okay? All right, so we start off today with a $6.66 tip. Here we go. From a horrid ass stank who says, I heard a rumor you date femboys. Is that true? Well, I hate to burst your bubble. Really, I do. Because I know people love to have fun. But the truth is that rumors are usually very untrue and exaggerated. And this is no exception. I am happily married. I am not dating anyone. I am madly in love with my wife. And she's the only person that I would ever spend time with in any kind of a romantic capacity. So I'm very sorry. Horrid as stank. I'm not going to type that out. I'll say your name is Haz. Horrid as stank. Thank you for the 666 tip. It sure would be great if we could get someone else to tip and get that off the leaderboard. I'm just saying. Okay? I just received 5 gifted subs over on Kick from Dick Jones. Dick Jones, how you doing, man? It's good to see ya. Let's get a nice animation for Dick Jones, and thank you for the 5 subs over on Kick. Here we are. Thank you, Dick. I hope you're doing well. Happy holidays to you. Where's the underscore? There it is. I was like, where's the underscore? I forgot. That's right. Let's get some applause for Dick Jones over on Kick. Everyone, get some applause emotes over there. Very nice. Thank you, Dick. An amazing amount of support already. I also have received a $2.25 tip from Puppy Nipples. Nothing like Christmas time, like having a fight at Mariah Carey. People were fighting at a Christmas concert. Why not? I mean, they were fighting outside of Red Lobster when they were in line during COVID, and they're fighting over, non-existent Black Friday deals, and they fight for anything. So, of course, they're fighting outside of, at the Mariah Carey concert. Why wouldn't they be fighting? I'd actually say, if they weren't fighting, I'd be surprised. So, there you go. Very nice. Game Ticker with our first super chat of the day over on YouTube. It's a €2.22 super chat. What game genre do you enjoy the most and why? I don't enjoy any genre the most. I am a variety guy. In fact, as I've said many times, if I were to keep playing the same game or genre over and over, I likely would actually get bored. That's just how I am. Like, if I play too many fighting games, I get bored. If I play too many shooting games, I get bored. I want variety. Same thing with food with me, too. Like, if I eat too much of the same food over and over, I get tired of it. But if I alternate between stuff, I find it fresh and more interesting. That's just how I am. So, what I'm trying to do here is find the conversion. So, all right, it's still about the same. You did €2.22. It's like a 2.34 super chat. I will get you up there for the exact amount, Game Ticker. So I don't have a favorite genre at all. I would say the genres that I don't play a lot would be racing or driving in general. Sports, because I'm just not into competitive sports at all, so I don't really care about sports games. Why would I if I'm not into the sport? And more strategic RPG style. Like, I'm into traditional turn-based Japanese style or action-based RPG, but I'm not really into the more strategic ones or the more advanced ones. You know what I mean? So, there you go. Dick Jones asked, am I going to play Path of Exile 2? I'm playing Path of Exile 2 tomorrow. We're going to get to the schedule segment. But you spilled the beans. You've spoiled the surprise. Not really a surprise. I posted it on my schedule last night. But I'm playing Path of Exile 2 tomorrow. We're going to give it a shot. Okay? I'm not convinced that it's going to go over with the audience. And the reason I say that is because I've played 2 Diablo games, for my audience. And neither Diablo game really panned out to be something that interesting that people liked. They said that they were repetitive, they were boring. Now everyone says Path of Exile 2 is amazing. So good. Well, let's try it. I listen, if it's addictive, if it's fun, if it feels like that old school Diablo that gets really, you get the itch for it, you want to play more, it's got the addictive loot and the drops and everything, I'm down for it. So I guess we'll find out tomorrow. And hell, I got a high-end gaming PC to run the sucker. So now I'm very excited to see how it's going to perform and everything. I think it's going to be great. Very cool. So that's tomorrow, but you've spilled the beans. We'll talk about that in a sec when we get to the schedule. Okay? All right, and also, shout out to John Nepper. John re-upped the membership this morning, and it did count as a membership. I just noticed that. So because it counted, that also counts towards our goal for today. So what a great head start at $38 of support towards our 150. Remember, if we hit 150, it counts towards our goal total milestone. And it means that we'll be one step closer to getting our big rewards. Now, remember, the other way that it works you can double up. So let's say we hit 150. What if we hit 150 by the end of the podcast, which we might at this rate because we have such momentum? Well, then we can work towards 300. And if we hit 300, then add not one, but two to the goal total for today. And we get even closer to the rewards. And that would be awesome if we did, because guess what? We didn't hit it last night. So it would be a little bit of catch up. You see? All right, cool. Here we go. All right. So first thing I would like to talk about as a major topic of the show, I want to talk about yesterday's Indies Day. Because yesterday on stream, I played 3 different indie games during the course of the stream. And let me tell you something. I had a great time yesterday. I really enjoyed the fact that we played a good variety of games that were all completely different. So let's start. First game that we played was called Balatro. And you may have heard of Balatro because it's nominated as Game of the Year at the Game of the Year Awards. And I think a lot of people didn't even know what Balatro was until it was nominated for Game of the Year, including me. I had never even heard of it. I was like, what the hell is Balatro and why is it nominated for Game of the Year? So I played it yesterday, and what it is if you're a fan of poker, you're going to love Balatro, because what Balatro is, it's poker kind of like plus, plus, plus. And what I mean by that is it basically is poker with a bunch of variations. You have these Joker cards that you get for your deck, and it basically makes all these different things happen with your hands. It's really cool. It's definitely not like Texas Hold'em. It's just poker, but with total variations. And it's got new cards you can add to your deck and all these cool rules and things. But the other thing is, it's a roguelike, meaning you're on a run. And if you lose and you don't raise a certain amount of points with your hands in a certain amount of time, you have to start the whole thing over. And I didn't even understand that until my first time I lost. I was so disappointed because I was like, oh man, I was having such a good run and now it's done. We got to start over. Like, yeah, that's how it works. Like, shit. That's frustrating. Like, man, I didn't want that to restart like that. So, I played Balatro for about an hour. I loved it. And I was like, man, well, I want to try the other game, so we got to swap now. But man, I would keep going. And I was like, I think I'm just going to keep going. And then people were like, yes. And others were like, no. People were like torn. Because some people really liked seeing me play Balatro and wanted more. And others were like, nah, I want to see another game. So, here's the truth. Balatro is very exciting to me. Like, it was actually quite fun. And I'm looking forward to playing it again. And we will play it again. All right? When? Maybe likely this week. We'll see if we can fit it into the schedule later in the week. You know, last week I hurriedly put the schedule together. I didn't really think about it. But I really, really want to play more Balatro. Okay? Now, the Sega game we played yesterday was called Killer Frequency. Now, this was the game where a lot of people wanted me to play it because they thought it was going to be a game that was right up my alley, my style of game. It's essentially supposed to be like a murder mystery suspense game. You're a radio DJ in a small town of like 1,000 people, and while you're on the radio, a woman calls in stating she's at the police station and the sheriff has been murdered, and she was the 911 operator, and she's going to patch the calls into you at the radio station while she drives to an adjacent town to try to get help because there's no law enforcement available right now. So, it's an interesting premise. The story itself is interesting. But my problem with the game in about the hour I played it, you just stood around in a studio. You didn't do anything. You just sat there taking calls and picking dialogue choices, and that was it. Like, nothing was happening. You didn't get to see what was being described. It was just kind of like you're just sitting there. And some people assured me, oh, don't worry. Like, later on in the game, it's not like that. You know what I mean? Like, it actually will be more action-based and things going on. But for me, I was just playing it for an hour. I was like, it's kind of a really slow start. Like, I like the idea of the story, but I wish that more was going on because it wasn't very riveting to me or the audience. We were just kind of like, So I would like to try it again. I would. But yeah, I'll be honest, out of the 3 games, that was the one that didn't really hook me as much. Okay? Okay. Now, the third and final game was called the Coin Game. This one, I didn't have many expectations for, but actually in about the 45 minutes I played, this one was right up my alley. Why? Because what the Coin Game is, it's a simulator game that simulates very popular and common arcade games. Okay? Now, when I say arcade games, do I mean the video games? No. I mean the ticket games, the redemption games. Okay? You got ball drops. You got Stack'ems. You got Skee Ball. You got variations on the claw game, the key game, the light game where you have to stop a light on a certain point. And I was playing it and I was like, first of all, I've played most of these games before because I grew up in arcades. And it even has games that used to be in my local arcade when I was growing up in the 90s, which was amazing to see that they're in this game represented fairly accurately. And then it had more recent games too, like that I've seen at my local arcade here in Washington that I've played with my wife. And I was like, this is really neat. This is cool. So the thing is, it's only, oh wait, in the 40 minutes I played, okay, I only saw one of the multiple arcades in the game. For what I'm to understand, there's at least 3 to 5 arcades, and I've only seen one. And I played all the games, like 8 or 9 games in each arcade, and I played them. I was like, wow, this is fun. And then someone was like, no, go outside, jump on the bus, drive to the next arcade. Huh? So I drove to the next arcade, and it was like UFO themed. I'm like, whoa. And it has laser tag. It had go-karts. I was like, this is amazing. It's like really like a virtual arcade visit experience. This is cool. So the thing is, it's definitely an older game too. You could tell it's like 5 years old. The graphics aren't great, but you don't need good graphics at all in order to be entertaining when you're just doing a sim game like this that's trying to represent these arcade games. So I had an absolute great time yesterday with the coin game, and I actually am looking forward to playing more of that one too. Okay? So honestly, out of all 3 games, I really liked Balatro, and I really liked the coin game. Killer Frequency, I didn't dislike, and people are assuring me that if I keep playing it, it's going to be good. So I'm gonna believe what people are telling me. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. It very well could just be that we're in the early stages of it, and we didn't get into the meat of it where it gets more interesting. But the plot is good, but the gameplay elements weren't that good, which is why I'm kind of skeptical. But hey, you know, I'll believe what people are telling me. I don't think that as many people would have suggested it to me as they did, because a lot of people did who I know, the people I trust from over the years. So I think these are all great games, and here's the thing. I'm happy that now I can play them, because all 3 of these games, you know, are PC-centric, and if I didn't have a gaming PC, I likely would have never touched them. So it's because of your suggestions and me having this gaming PC that now my horizons are opened wider to playing a variety of games, right? So, hey, if you liked any of those games and you want to see me play them, say, during the Christmas marathon, remember that you can nominate games right now for the upcoming Christmas marathon event. Just type !Christmas into the chat on YouTube, or just go to the community tab on my page on DSPGaming, and the thread is there from just a few days ago where you can post up games. Be sure to do that, because the more nominations, the better. Those nominations will be running for another week and a half to 2 weeks, and then right before the Christmas event, I'll make a poll where you guys will vote on the most nominated games, and then you'll be able to say what ones you want to see the most on Christmas, and that'll determine the order of games we play. We're already guaranteed to play the intro of Stellar Blade. I promised you I would do that, and I'm going to do that. We're going to do the intro of Stellar Blade during the Christmas marathon, okay? But outside of that, all the other games are up in the air, so please vote, and let's see what you guys want, okay? Very, very good. Okay, see here. I received a $1 tip. Someone says what makes Five Nights at Freddy's special is the community and different pieces of the lore puzzle spread throughout the franchise in each game. Yeah, but I understand that. Like, I understand that there's all this lore and everything around it, but I play a game for a game first. Like, if the game isn't fun to me, then I don't care what the lore is around it. You know, like, first of all, let me give you a perfect example of that, all right? The Dark Souls franchise, okay? Dark Souls has an insane amount of lore, but it's all hidden in the world, in the descriptions of items, in secret areas, in interpretation, you know what I mean? But the lore is great once you get it, it's just not at surface level. What hooks you about Dark Souls is the gameplay. The insanely difficult but challenging and rewarding gameplay. The well-designed, handcrafted world around you, right? All of that is what hooks you. Once you're hooked, now the fact that the game has this insane amount of good lore, holy shit. Amazing, right? But I want the gameplay first. In Five Nights at Freddy's, that's the most boring shit I've ever seen in my life. It's just a sad excuse for a game in general. every single one of them sucks. And I've played, I think, 3 of them, and every one of them I was bored to tears, and the scares aren't scary. And like, the whole premise of the game is it's supposed to be a horror game. A horror game with no horror or bad horror doesn't work for me. I don't care if the lore is good. I want the game to be good on its own merits and then give me world building lore. And I don't think that Five Nights has that. Now, admittedly, this is me being fair. I played Five Nights 1 for about 30 to 45 minutes once. And I played Five Nights, I think it was Sister Location. I played that one for like a half an hour. Okay? I think I did play another one in between at some point, but I can't remember which one it was. All right? That's my exposure to Five Nights at Freddy's. If we were to do a reward at some point for these goals, right? Where maybe it's a day where all I do is I play Five Nights and I go through a series of games. Maybe I play each one for like 30 to 40 minutes. So that way I'm getting the exposure, right? Maybe then my opinion will change. But right now, from what I understand of the games, I just don't like them. I've not had a single moment of fun playing Five Nights. So it's hard for me to enjoy the franchise. And listen, I get it. Okay, I love Five Nights because I sat on YouTube and I watched a bunch of lore videos and I watched Matt Pat talk about game theory about it. And then I went over here and there was a community, a Reddit fan board, and we all talked about it. And then we played the game and oh my God, there were actually hints in the game to the lore of this and that. Great. But what about the game you were playing? Was it good? Or did you just kind of put up with the gameplay elements, you know? That's what I don't understand. Cypress just made a good point. He says, great lore is not needed for a great game. Street Fighter has terrible lore. Yeah, Street Fighter lore is some of the most confusing, non-specific, and they retcon stuff all the time in Street Fighter lore, which is absolutely stupid. But Street Fighter has sound gameplay mechanics, which is why it's the top fighting game of the world, you know? That's my take. I mean, I see it as games first, lore second. But maybe some other people disagree with me, and that's fine if you do. But I want a good game, and I haven't seen that with Five Nights. That's my take. You can disagree, and again, maybe my opinion will change in the future. I am totally open to being exposed to new things, okay? Okay. Sweet. All right. By the way, Super Bonchan says, the new Freddy's game actually is a game agreed on the originals. So you're saying the new Five Nights at Freddy's game actually is pretty good, but the original sucked? Numbnut17 says Five Nights at Freddy's worked better as a book series. I didn't know it was a book series. I thought it was just games. Okay. All right. So what we should do, very quickly, let's go through the schedule. But here's the thing. A lot of the schedule is kind of up in the air. All right. Let me get my schedule open here for what I posted last night. But this isn't necessarily sticking in stone. This can change. So today, it is Indiana Jones all day long. Double stream of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Hoping for the best, hoping it's good. Everyone says it is. I'm thinking it'll be good. Okay? By the way, shout out to everyone who's here. I think Game Boy is here. I think Jade is here. A lot of people are here. Hello to everyone who is on the stream saying hello. Welcome to the stream. Tomorrow, I'm going to try this path. Is it Path of Exile? It's Path of Exile, right? I put Path to Exile on the schedule. You know what? How about this? I'm just going to buy it right now. Path of Exile 2. It's $29.99. Okay? I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to buy it now. That way I have it, and we're going to play it tomorrow. Okay? Fair enough? And again, the reason I'm able to just do stuff like this is because of you and your support. So please keep supporting the streams. Let's hit some goals today. All right? That's why I can just easily say, we're just going to do it right now. Let's do it. Okay? So there we go. I'm going to buy it. Done. Install. Boom. Okay. The Path of Exile 2 is installing right now. We're going to play it tomorrow. Okay? First stream of the day. Now listen. I like classic Diablo. I really do. Diablo 1 and 2, I got addicted to. When Diablo 2 came out, I played it as a new release. I was hooked on it. I was up late nights during my college days playing Diablo 2. You know, I love Diablo. I really do. The thing is, with Diablo 3 and 4, I didn't really get that feeling. All right? I kept getting told, oh, no, these are amazing games. You got to play them. Don't skip them. So I did, but each time that I played them, without fail, people complained that they weren't very good. They were boring, they were repetitive, and they were just not good. So we're going to find out tomorrow on the day stream what you guys think and what I think. I'll be honest with you. I bet I'm going to like it more than most of the audience because I like that formula of classic Diablo. I almost guarantee you I'm going to enjoy it. But if I start playing it and immediately I start getting excuses, oh, well, you were supposed to play it co-op. Oh, were you supposed to play it with mouse and keyboard? Oh, you're supposed to do this. Seriously, I'm just not going to jump on these bandwagon pressure anymore. Because this is what it is. It's bandwagon pressure. This was a game that I had absolutely no intention of playing. I didn't even know it existed until Friday when everyone yelled at me saying, why aren't you playing it? And I'm like, I didn't even know it existed. You guys didn't even mention it. So now I'm playing it. All right. I hope it's good. I'm listening to you. I just dropped the money for it. I'm installing it literally right now. So we will try it tomorrow. And hopefully it's good and it ends up being a fun playthrough. Okay. So now my schedule is going to be crazy because if this is good and Indiana Jones is good, but we're already playing Bloodborne, which people are already asking for the DLC for, but we're still playing Stalker 2, but we're still doing chill streams of Flight Sim, but we're still playing Marvel Rivals, this is going to be insane, right? So I don't know what we're even going to do. We're going to have to be juggling so much, right? It's going to be insanity. So, tomorrow we're doing Path of Exile on the first stream. We'll give it a shot. We'll give it a go. We'll see how it runs. We'll see how it plays. We'll see if you like it, if I like it, and that'll judge if we're going to play it more. Tomorrow night on the late stream, we're going to do Marvel Rivals. This is what I played on Friday as the day stream, and I had a good time with it, but the audience did not. The audience said it was too similar to Overwatch. Well, that's the whole idea. It's Overwatch with Marvel characters, okay? So I'm going to do a night stream of it tomorrow night with a bigger variety, play more characters and try them out and go from there. Okay. Then on Wednesday, the day stream will be more Indiana Jones, and the night stream will be Bloodborne. We'll do a 2-hour stream of Bloodborne, and the thing is, we are actually getting to the point where we're near the end of the game. We're in the Nightmare of Mensis, so we have the final, challenging dungeon. We have some bosses coming up. I would like to do the secret ending, which means I have to find the umbilical cord pieces. I think we have 1, and don't you need 3? So I don't know where the others are. We got to find them. I think they're around this part. So we're going to do that. We're going to be beating that soon. And then it's up to you guys if you want the DLC or not. I'm down for the DLC for sure if you want it. Old, what is it? The Old Hunters or whatever it's called. It's very challenging, but it's fun. And now I'm much better at the game. So I think it would be even better this time, right? Then on Thursday, the day stream will be Stalker 2. My only Stalker 2 session for the week. And then Thursday night is DS Politics. So you see, I put out a schedule last night and I was rushing and I screwed it all up. I didn't even put DS Politics in the schedule. Dude, this week is insane. You hear all the stuff going on? We got upheaval in Syria. The Syrian government got completely overthrown. We could talk about that. We got an acquittal in New York City of a guy who was formerly military who defended a bunch of people and on the subway from a guy who was on drugs and going crazy. And the guy ended up dying in police custody, and then they tried to try the guy with murder. What? But he got acquitted, so now everyone's up in arms about this. We got all kinds of freaking crazy stories going on this week in politics. So this is going to be a wild DS Politics stream on Thursday night. If you're into politics, holy crap, we got a lot of stories to cover. FYI, if you are a member over on DSP React, remember to submit your stories, articles, and or ideas for topics for the show by Thursday. As of today's Monday, I think only 2 people posted. So, and we have like a bunch of members. So it'd be great to get more suggestions, okay? So, and then that's like I said, if you didn't notice, what did I say we're doing? We're doing some Indiana Jones. We're doing Path to Exile 2. We're continuing on with Stalker. We're continuing on with other games. Where do I have time for indie games there? You see? So this is what's happening. That's what's going on. Is that I'm so busy right now. And it's funny. I swear this is the busiest month of the year for me right now. It's all happening at once. Why are all these games just dropped at once and everyone wants me to play them? I don't know how I can. I want to play these indie games, but how do I squeeze those in when I'm doing all these other new releases that people are asking for? So this is a tricky one, guys, for sure. I'm not sure what to really do. in regards to, playing these games and juggling them all. It's just a very tricky situation. By the way, I'm uninstalling some games right now. I know I'm never playing again, like Sonic X Shadow Generations. I just uninstalled Dragon Ball Z, which I'm never playing again. What else should I uninstall here? I never even played Retro Realms, but I think it's tiny. I'll be honest, I don't think we're ever getting back to A Quiet Place. That one was an okay game for when we played it in October, but I don't think we're going to be playing that one again. So, alright, I installed a few games there. Oh, Fierce to Fathom. I probably won't be playing episodes 1 and 2 of Fierce to Fathom again. We already beat them, right? And get rid of those. There we go. Okay. We may play System Shock again, so I'll keep that on there. Okay. All right, so. Whew, there you go. That's what's going on right now, and it's pretty crazy right now, juggling all this stuff. Now, we have some news stories to cover today that I would like to discuss on the show. Okay, let's do it. Ready? So, time for some gaming news, my friends. Let's jump over. So, our first story of the day, and by the way, while I'm doing this, I can actually turn off my RGB lights so that it doesn't mess with the camera. There you go. The Game Awards have narrowed down the Player's Voice games to 5. All right? Now, keep in mind, according to Jeff Keighley, these have been 100% determined by common votes. Okay? This is not, journalists nominated these and they're voting and that's why. Or, liberal people with agendas. This is supposed to be open voting. Okay? Here's the games that are left. Black Myth Wukong, Genshin Impact, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Wuthering Waves, and Zenless Zone Zero. Do I even need to comment? The thing is, when you have open voting, correct, you have a lot of people who are essentially drumming up votes while the rest of the internet is just kind of not paying attention. Like, I'll be honest, I haven't voted. I didn't really care to vote for this, but now I haven't voted, and I go back and I look at it, and I'm like, wait, what? 3 out of the 5 games for Player's Voice are mobile games that are, that kind of anime-centric, exactly, the weeb gaming community kind of deal. Wuthering Waves, I've never even heard of. I have no clue what that is. Obviously, I know Genshin Impact because I played it years ago, but Genshin Impact is like a 4 or 5-year-old game, isn't it, at this point? And then Zenless Zone Zero, I don't even know what the hell that is. And apparently, it's also made by the same company as Genshin Impact, so it's a similar game, right? So, the fact that 3 out of 5 are this style, and the other thing that gets me about this, right? How could possibly 3 out of 5 of those games be in there when it's the same audience? That's the question you got to ask, okay? Because let's be honest, they're all a similar style of audience. So how the hell did those people who apparently were only supposed to be able to vote once each, how are 3 of those games in the top 5? I call bullshit. If one of those games were in the top 5, I'd be like, that makes sense. The entire audience for those games all voted for the one. But the fact that 3 of them are in there, that tells you that this is just fucking bullshit, that they're abusing the system. That they're going in there likely with bot votes, and they're voting for these games to get them on there, but it's nonsense. These games literally would have eaten each other alive in the voting. All 3 of them would have gotten about 1/3 of the votes from that audience, and therefore, they never would have made it to the top 5. So this tells you right now, it's bullshit. It's definitely a faked vote. It's fucked up. Okay? But you know what? I mean, this is the problem with the Game Awards. Okay? Either you got on the one end, everyone's bot voting to fuck up the Player's Voice. On the other end, you've got the jury, which is just a bunch of game journalists who are all of like mind when it comes to political views and social views. and they're nominating and voting for games that people have never heard of, right? Like, listen, I just told you I just played Balatro for the first time, okay? I like Balatro. I actually like its premise. It's poker with a twist, and I like the fact that the game is addictive and it's a roguelike, okay? There is no universe where I would ever say that Balatro is a Game of the Year contender. I would have to be the most disingenuous jerk to say that because it's just a simple card game. It's fun, it's addictive, but that's not Game of the Year material. Listen, play it, it's great. I would recommend it highly if you like poker, but I'm never going to tell you that's the best Game of the Year because I'm not an asshole. But that's what's nominated for Game of the Year at the Game Awards because the jury is a bunch of biased nitwits. So you either have biased nitwits or you have bot voting. There's no in-between of like normal people who can actually get heard because the Game Awards are fucking stupid. Okay, so that's the truth, is that, you know, it's dumb shit. I don't think that it matters. And when people say to me, are you going to watch him this Thursday? Fuck no. I'm not going to waste my entire night watching and reacting to that shit. I'll be playing games, or on Thursday night, I'll be doing DS Politics. That's more interesting and important to me than this stupid Game Awards show that's literally run just to make Jeff Keighley money. Because I'm going to say it right now. This entire awards are a sham because you don't have games like Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Path of Exile 2, or hell, anything being released right now in consideration. Right now, Marvel Rivals is doing incredibly well. It's got a good player base. It's got a lot of attention on it. Why isn't it in there for Multiplayer Game of the Year? Oh, because the Game Award nominations cut off several weeks ago. Why? Because Jeff Keighley wants to do them this week so he can make ad revenue for Christmas. Not because it's valid, not because it makes any sense, just because he wants to make money. These awards should be in January. Then you can have all the games from the year in them. Because here's the truth. We're having a great amount of games at the end of the year. Literally 0 of these games will be nominated next year. I'm just going to say that right up front. You will not see these games in contention or mentioned or even possible for Game of the Year because no one remembers games from December in November of the next year. Get it? That's just how our minds work. So the Game Awards are flawed. Jeff Keighley needs to rethink the way he does them, except he doesn't care because he's so rich. Why would he? If he's the big money guy, right? The big money guy when it comes to game events, why would he give a shit if they're actually legit or as long as he's making money, right? So, it is what it is. But that's very frustrating to me. I really wish that it was a more legit event, but that voting is complete bullshit. Like I said, having one of those 3 games in the top 5 for player's voice makes sense. I wouldn't dispute that at all. Having 3 of them in the top 5 just absolutely proves that the votes are fake. They're botting the fuck out of it because it's the same people voting 3 times. Bullshit. Okay. Our next news story of the day, folks. Valve is rumored to be making a home console that will play both valid PC games, but apparently also emulator games. They want it to be a home console, meaning fully hooked up to your entertainment system, much like your Xbox or your PlayStation 5 or your Switch is right now. They want it to have, full capabilities. They want it to be able to use the Steam controller, which you can use with Steam right now, and having things like Steam Link, so it can link to if you have a Steam Deck or you have other Steam accessories in your house, right? They basically want this to they want Steam to become a household name for gaming rather than just the place where you buy games or that niche thing if some people has a Steam Deck or not. They want it to become the big thing, okay? People, of course, have different takes on this. Look, Valve is entering the console living room market. It's all over for Xbox. I wasn't aware that Xbox was even in contention at this point. I mean, Xbox has fallen apart systematically over the last 5 years with little to no foothold in the gaming market. So I don't know why they're saying that. But PlayStation, you're going to have to fight hard against Valve. I mean, I think I agree. If Valve comes out with a valid home console solution that runs similarly to a mid-range gaming PC, and they're pumping all the Steam games out on it, day one, and they're making it viable for you to play them all with the Steam controller and everything, this might work. But the problem is they don't really have a good track record. Remember, they've tried this before and it didn't work. It did not catch on with the masses. I guess it really matters. What really matters is the backing and how much effort they put into it. Like, look at this. Now, what is this? This is hilarious. How is this guy reputable? Where did you get your information from? Look at this. Hybrid compatible with Steam Deck and PC. Save shared across cloud or locally. Entire Steam library available from PC Deck. VR compatible with Steam VR. Free online play. Steam Deck remote play with Switch-like docking. Launching with Half-Life 3. 4K 120 FPS ray tracing support. $4.99 would you buy? He made all that up. You know that, right? Like, 0 things posted in this post are actual facts. He literally made all that up. Wow. So anyway, I mean, my take on it is, again, if they put effort, marketing, all of that into it, all right? If they did, I feel it could work. Because right now, admittedly, Xbox has floundered. And their whole strategy now is to not even focus on Xbox as a console, but everything is an Xbox. Your phone is an Xbox. Your electric toothbrush is an Xbox. Your bidet in your bathroom is an Xbox. They're morons. They're never going to sell anything that way, but that's where they're going because their leadership is fucking atrocious at this point, okay? So, my take is, with Xbox stepping down from contention, okay, there is an opening in the marketplace for another contender. There absolutely is. But they have to do it right, okay? They do have to put a ton of effort. Like, if they launched an ad campaign that rivaled the Sega ad campaign from the 90s, where they would, like, show the PlayStation and be like, well, this is what it does, but here's what we can do. No cost for online play whatsoever. Day one, all new releases at super high quality. If they really pushed it well, I think it would work. But I'm curious if they will. Like previously, they tried this and they didn't do any of that. They just expected that because they had an installed base of people who use Steam, that people were going to buy the home, adapter for it. And no one did because you use Steam on PC. Like everyone, Steam is on PC, right? No one thought, oh, it's Steam, but buy a home console to use Steam on. No one thought that. So they need to put a lot of marketing and effort into changing that mentality. They haven't done that. So I think it could work. And honestly, I think a new competitor could be in there. And to basically have a lot of the advantages of PC on a console could work as well. Well, I don't know. I guess we're going to have to find out. I hope that they do give it a serious try. Okay? All right. Our final story of today has to do with a company called itch.io. Now, admittedly, I don't know much about itch.io, okay? I don't know what kind of games they sell or whatever, but they apparently are a legit company that sells games online. It's some kind of a game distribution service or something like that. I don't know. Well, guess what happened overnight? Funko, yes, that's right. The company that makes Funko Pop figures and a million other Funko things now, because the Pops are so popular, they spread out and do a whole bunch of content now, right? They even have a game that flopped miserably, but they do have a game. They have seemingly false flagged itch.io with a phishing report. And from what is being reported, it's because of bad AI. Okay? So here's actually itch.io posting themselves 13 hours ago. I kid you not, itch.io has been taken down by Original Funko because they use some kind of a trash AI-powered brand protection software called Brand Shield Limited that created some bogus phishing report to our registrar, I Want My Name, who ignored our response and just disabled our domain. So Funko, being a giant company with a lot of money, hired an AI program to protect their IP or whatever, and the AI misidentified a different business that has nothing to do with Funko, filed a report on behalf of Funko without any verification, and then, I guess their registration service registrar, I forget how it works, so you register a website or whatever, just took down their site. Their whole business is down. Now, folks, I think it's time for us to start discussing responsible use of AI. Okay? Because at this point, I've had enough of this bullshit because I've gone through this many times on YouTube. All right? I'm going to give you a perfect example of how AI can go bad and hurt a business that doesn't deserve it. All right? All the time on YouTube, YouTube has an AI powered algorithm for content ID matching. All right? And what it does, it'll search for something that's similar to content that's loaded into their content ID system, match it without any kind of intelligent verification, and just grant claiming rights to a company that has no right to it. For example, this literally happened 2 to 3 weeks ago. Someone who is a YouTuber was playing Call of Duty. Now, they have a high and mighty partnership company, okay? They gave all of their content to the partnership company. The company loaded that into the content ID system, and I'm not kidding you. Every single person on YouTube who played Call of Duty Black Ops 6 multiplayer had their videos claimed by this person, claiming that we all stole their content, that somehow they had the rights to Black Ops 6 multiplayer. So I want you to think about that. How many thousands of people played Black Ops 6 multiplayer, uploaded their videos to YouTube, which is their legal right, monetized their videos, and then lost the monetization on their video because the AI of YouTube is fucking dog shit. For me, it's not a big deal. Why? Because that's a drop in the bucket for me. I play a zillion games. To lose monetization on Call of Duty isn't a huge deal for me, right? I was only going to make a few dollars on each video regardless. So, oh no, I lost $50 or something, right? But to someone who their content is mostly Call of Duty, can you imagine if what you were doing was covering Call of Duty in depth? And then all of a sudden, your entire channel just got claimed by some fucking jackass who decided to upload their stuff to Content ID, and the AI is piss poor and misidentified it. That's a bad use of AI. I'm sorry, AI has good uses and bad uses. Would you like to see a good use of AI? It's right now. Take a look at me. I am green screened onto this for this segment because AI can be used well for certain applications. This is amazing. Look, I don't even have a green screen behind me, but the AI is so smart, it cuts the whole background out, and I'm able to be here for gameplay or for, this is a good use of AI. This doesn't harm anyone. It allows me to make better content. If AI acts stupid and it harms someone, it shouldn't be used for those applications. If an AI misidentification is going to take down a business, it should never be used for those applications, ever. It should be doing busy work. AI should be doing things that are so menial and time-consuming, right? That now we can save that time for humans to do more meaningful, productive, creative work, right? AI should be doing things that we don't want to do or don't have the time to do. Like someone made a great example of this the other day, or not the other day, the other month, a few months ago. They said, why is it that people are now talking about using AI to generate art, music, and all of this? That's the stuff that humans love to do and need to do to create culture. Instead, why aren't we talking about AI doing all the busy work shit we don't want to do? Like washing dishes, or doing the laundry, or scrubbing the floors. That's what AI should be designed to do. Do the shit that's menial tasks that no one wants to fucking do, and it's not productive or meaningful or interesting or stimulating. Don't tell AI to do intelligent tasks because AI isn't intelligent. It's artificially intelligent. Get it? Have it do the things that don't need to be smart. I agree. Have it cut the background out of my scene here. But don't have it do all my intelligent work for me, right? Don't have AI tell me what projects to run in the next 5 months. Don't have AI tell me what to say in a video. That's stuff I got to do. That's why my content's interesting, because it's original. It's my content. It's the thoughts coming out of my brain. If I had AI do all my work for me, then what originality am I adding to my content, right? When you tell AI, I'll just go out there and just identify anything that might be associated with us, there's going to be problems. There's going to be misidentifications. And then who gets hurt? The little guy. The little guy who can't hang and argue with Funko. The little guy who now had their business shut the fuck down when they did nothing wrong because AI is dumb as dirt. AI needs to be used responsibly like all other technology, and it's just not being used responsibly. It's being everything possible is being thrown towards AI to do. Do this, do that, do this, do that. And we're seeing some things are becoming amazing and other things are just failing miserably. When AI was first announced as it was going to be this big thing a few years ago, I was very skeptical. But now I'm seeing that AI could have some pretty good applications, right? Right now, my background being removed is really awesome. This camera has an ability to actually follow me around the room if I turn on the AI tracking. I think that's cool. Now, personally, I don't want to use that, but I think that's cool, right? But it's dumb to think that AI in its infancy, which it is, it's definitely still in its infancy, it's going to be smart enough to identify issues like copyright or trademark or whatever it was that Funko was using it for, and is going to do it properly. You know, it's sad because YouTube on a daily basis is granting thousands upon thousands of fake claims and no one holds them accountable. Why? Why does no one sue YouTube and say your AI is faulty? It was your responsibility to make sure that you enforced the law properly. You misenforced the law tens of thousands of times a day. Here's a ginormous lawsuit. Fuck you. Get sued into oblivion. It should happen. Funko should be sued into oblivion. You employed the AI. Now you deal with the ramifications because you shut our business down and it's not right. It really drives me nuts that this is just something. Not everything just does AI. AI. You want to know another thing that's really bad with AI right now? The job search in the United States. Right now, if you wanted to apply for a job, you can't just go to a business and apply for a job. You know what they tell you? Go online and go apply on one of these employment sites. And there's a whole bunch of them. There's like 4, they're called like almost like marketplaces, right? The problem is they're not run by humans. They're run by automated AI. So you go on there and you'll see a million jobs listed and you'll apply. And guess what? Those businesses don't even fucking exist. Right now, I'm shit you not, you can find job postings for restaurants in my area that closed 6 months ago. They're still listed because it's run by AI and the AI is dumb as fuck and doesn't know that the business doesn't exist anymore. So it just has this shit listed there in perpetuity over and over and over, relisting for no fucking reason. There was a business, okay, on a delivery app that I use for food, okay? You get the food delivered. And we knew that this business was down for renovation because every time you drive by it, you could see that the business had all these trucks and there was all this stuff. They had posted up on Facebook, we're closed. We had a flood, okay? The fucking delivery apps kept posting that the place was open. So people kept thinking that the place was open and would place orders. And then the AI would say, oh, it was an error. And then it would cancel everyone's orders. And it did this for 3 months straight because it's too stupid to know what's going on. You know, it's sad. You know, it really is. But use more AI. Well, no, you can't just think that AI is going to do everything. You have to have a human at some fucking point have some kind of a control over. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, you can't just say, well, toss everything to the wolves and just hope for the best. So dumb. Anyway. There we go. So, yeah, I'm sad to hear about this. This company should not have been negatively affected by a dumb AI that's too stupid to know what it's actually trying to do, right? But is it really AI's fault? No. That's the thing. AI is not to blame. Because a lot of people will be like, well, you see, AI is evil. AI is the devil. No, 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 no. AI is not to blame. We are humans who are lazy and stupid. Humans who just want everything done for them and think the easy way to do it is throw money at AI and just hope that AI will just fix it all. No. You have to actually put effort into doing things in life. You have to actually have time and discipline and investment. These things take time to develop. You can't just expect that because AI exists that it's going to be smart enough to do these things. Put some effort into it. If you have a business and you're running it, put some effort into actually searching for employees. You know, screening them properly. Not, oh, just let AI do everything. And then one day, all of a sudden, 17 people show up for an interview, and you didn't even know you had interviews today because you're an idiot. Get it? So what I mean, this is how it's all running. So hopefully, things will get better. But I don't know at all, sadly. I feel like things are going the wrong way because humans, again, they jump on this shit too early. They think, oh, well, AI is good. And look, hey, here's an opportunity for me to use it. I could just pay money and then AI will do everything for me. Like, that's actually not how it works at all. We haven't gotten to that point. AI is still in its infancy stages. It's not time to employ AI to do everything for us. That's how things are going to come crashing fucking down in society, but people are too dumb to realize it. Anyway, that's what I got for news stories for today. So, I have a shout out to do here. I received a $2 tip. Can I send you DoorDash instead of a tip? No, because first of all, as you know, I don't eat on streams, only if I schedule it. For example, like a special DSP Tries It episode as a reward or something. But no, if you just send random shit to my house, I reject it 10 times out of 10 and it gets thrown out. I've gotten packages, food, all kinds of shit that's shown up at my house before, and it goes right in the trash. I don't accept it. I don't want anything sent to me. If it's something that we talk about and we agree to mutually beforehand, fine. But I am not, just allowing stuff to be sent to my home. Sorry about that. That's a bad idea. Okay. So now we have just a little bit of extra time for the show, about 10, 15 minutes. So let's see what you guys want to talk about. Please tag me in the chat. We'll do a little bit of Q&A to end our podcast for today. What's up, Game Boy? Good to see you here this morning. It's going well. Thanks for asking. Every day I'm tweaking a little more. Like I said, now I actually have the ability to do everything, turn everything on and off here from my actual Stream Deck, which is amazing that I can do this now. Everything's getting a little better, a little more effort every day, right? Seriously. So, okay. What do you guys want to talk about today? Jade says, could you play as Luna, Snow, and Storm in Marvel Rivals tomorrow? I think I used Storm in the beta and I had liked her. I can't remember now. Wasn't Storm kind of like Lucio? Like she's a team buffer, if I remember correctly. Maybe I'm misremembering. I don't think I used Luna Snow, but I think people are saying that she's quite good in this game. Yeah, I might use them tomorrow. Just remind me when I'm actually playing. Okay. Okay. So, let's see here. Casanova says, did you experience the original PS1 startup on PS5? Very briefly, because when I boot up my PS5, my TV's usually not on yet. So I was booting up my PS5 Pro to play Bloodborne the other night, and I was turning on my TV, and I caught the tail end of it, where it was the classic boot up screen. I was like, whoa! And I turned quick, and I saw the very end of it, and then it went to the regular screen. I was like, oh. It's a nice touch, but sadly, I wish they would let it be permanent. The fact that they're claiming it's limited time only is insanely boneheadedly stupid. Just let everyone keep it for the 30th anniversary, but they're going to take it away at some point, apparently, which is really dumb. No, the podcast does not start at 11:30, as I've told you this last week, since I have basically had this new setup going. Every single day when I get in this office, I'm doing something different. Every day I'm trying to sync something new, get something new working, and because of that, that's why I've been late to the podcast. But the podcast has been ending around the right time, but I'm planning to try to get it back on track once, again, I get into being able to consistently do it, but every day I get caught up with something. Like I said, my problem right now is time management. It's no longer resources, money, and stuff like that. It's literally time management is my problem. Like, I just don't have enough time to do everything that I want to do. And it sucks because there's so much more I know I could be doing right now with my setup. If I had time to work with it, I just don't have time to work with it, What's my favorite Indiana Jones movie? Probably The Last Crusade. I think The Last Crusade is my favorite one because not only do you have Indy, but you also have Sean Connery, who's amazing in it. The plot is really good. I like the whole third final act where they're going to get the Grail and they have to solve the puzzles and stuff. That's really, really neat. I really like that movie. Yes, I'm aware that you can select all those different PlayStation sounds on the dashboard now for a limited time. Don't ask me why it's a limited time. Orson Around Dan says, what do you think about a new bill being passed that AI will have some rights as humans? I don't know anything about that, so I can't comment on it. I don't know anything about that at all. Have I played any old school Indiana Jones games on SNES or Genesis? Asked Zombie Wolfpacks. I have never, to my knowledge, played an Indiana Jones video game before. I don't think so. Not one. Don't think so. John, we shouted out your membership, and I added it to our running total of contributions for today. So thank you, John, for re-upping your membership today. Yes, appreciate that. Yeah, my end-of-year countdowns are going to be very interesting this year. You want to know why? Because I feel like I'm playing some of the best games of the year right now. Like, Indiana Jones may be really good. Path of Exile 2 may be really good. Those are new releases for this year. Balatro is considered a new release. I like it. That could be considered a Game of the Year contender. You know, like the games I'm playing right now seem to be some of my favorites of the year. So, I don't know how this is going to go this year. We'll have to see, but this is pretty interesting. Would I rather be covered in rats or snakes? I mean, here's the thing. I personally think rats are cute. I'm not scared of rats at all. I think they're actually very cute animals. The problem with rats is they carry disease. And if, you know, they're in areas of squalor, they could have feces and everything all over them. Snakes in general are not bad animals in any real regard. Like, snakes aren't known to carry disease or anything, but the problem with snakes is they can be venomous. It really depends. Like, if they're a bunch of neatly kept rats, I have no problems with rats. I don't care about snakes either. I think they're all cool animals. But do I want venomous snakes on me? No. Do I want disease-infested, feces-caked rats on me? No. So, I think we need qualifying characteristics to properly answer the question, because I'm not someone who's afraid of either creature. So I'm not going to say, oh, no, I'm not doing this one, because, I actually like both creatures. Jade says, tell me the backstory of Indiana Jones. Well, we will. People are telling me, Jade, this game only takes place after the first movie. So if that's really the case, there's not a lot of backstory to tell. It's just that Indiana Jones is an archaeologist, but he happens to be an adventurer archaeologist who keeps getting wrapped up in situations with, like, the Nazis and stuff like that, where they're trying to get power to power their movement. And so they're looking for things like relics and stuff that will give them supernatural power, and he tries to stop them and thwart them and put the stuff in a museum instead. That was the whole plot of the first movie, is that they're trying to get the Ark of the Covenant that supposedly the 10 Commandments are inside. And if they open it, they're going to get power, and he's trying to stop them. You know, that's the whole first movie. What is my opinion on tips being tax-free under Trump? I don't know, because here's the thing, okay? About, how long ago was it? 7.5 years ago, when I became a full-time streamer, and I knew that I was going to start accepting tips as income. I spoke to my tax guy, who's a, full-time, tax business. And they advised me, even though when someone tips you, they say it's a tip, you should still consider that just standard income. Okay? I'm not qualifying tips that I receive as tips right now. Like a waitress or a bartender, anyone who gets a tip, they qualify that differently. All right? I don't. I qualify as just someone gave me a normal payment for work. And he says, the reason you want to do that is because what you're talking about right now is a new kind of emerging job. Okay? And if you misqualify all of your income, and then the IRS comes after you years later and says, oh, just so you know, for 5 years, you've misqualified all of your tip income, and now we're coming after you for not only the back money we feel you owe us, but also interest, because you didn't do it right for all these years, so here's insane interest. He says, this is going to ruin your life. So you want to be careful. You want to be basically paying full tax on your income, not trying to qualify it as less. So no lie, all of your tips income that I get, I pay full tax on every year. Many, many content creators and streamers probably don't do that. They probably consider taxes like tips at a bar or at a restaurant. I don't. Okay? So they may be paying way less taxes than me. And I know that. And maybe that's one of the reasons why I've told you guys that I do have, such financially tight problems for years and years. This year, not so much because things have been so good, but previous years, it's been a big issue with me. Okay. Now here's the thing. If Donald Trump outright says all tips now are tax free, okay, I 1,000,000% am going to be going to my tax guy and saying, listen, it's now time to reevaluate. I've been a full-time streamer for 7-8 years, and I've got all these tips that come in, and if this is really tax-free, I need to be making that distinction because I shouldn't be paying all this money to the feds that I don't owe them that could be reinvested into the business in my life, So we'll see. Right at this point, I don't really feel at all that there's been a reason to evaluate the situation. I'm doing the right stuff. But long term, if this passes, keep in mind, anything Trump passes will not go into effect right away. He's going to be sworn in what, January? Let's say he passes the law in February. It goes through that fast. It probably won't even go into effect until later. And then once it goes into effect, year or two down the road, then maybe. Okay? Okay, so anyway, again, I don't even know because we don't even know what it's going to be, if it's going to pass. Who knows? It's a speculation thing. If it does pass and tips become tax-free, could that help me? Yes, it could. But I would have to start making big distinctions between what were tips received or what was a different kind of a payment received. There's other payments I get too. I get, right now I'm getting payments from the merchandise company, from people who are buying stuff on darksidephil.shop, like this mug. Okay, and that's not a tip. That's they're paying me, a royalty for sales of merch. That's different. That's a different kind of payment. So that has to be distinct and different. Okay. All right. So guys, we're very close to the end of the show. Last chance if you want to toss me a question. Thank you for your early support. We've almost hit a third of the goal. Being that this is a new release stream, it would be great if we could hit the goal and get us to goals hit 3, get some momentum going for this week. It would be great to get a streak going, but we're not counting it as a streak. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be saying, oh, well, we did it 3 consecutive streams. I'm not going to say that. I'm just saying it would be great if we could get some momentum going. I would love to do DSP tries it at the end of this week. If we actually start hitting them now, we could do it on Friday. I would love to do it because we didn't do it last week. Okay? It's Dr. Jones time. Ha ha ha. There you go. Casanova, you're asking the wrong person. You're asking the wrong person. You have to ask people who want me to play Stellar Blade why they want me to. I've talked about the game all year about how it didn't really impress me. The other thing that's shocking is that in those Game Awards, viewers' choice, players' choice, I think it's called, right? Stellar Blade ain't there, and it was in there, and it's gone. Stellar Blade did not receive enough votes to get into top 5. It was eliminated. The other game that's not there, Silent Hill 2 Remake. I thought that would have been in there, too. There's a lot of games that were in the running for players' choice that aren't in there anymore, and it makes me wonder if literally the entire thing is just bots. It really could be. It could be 100% bot voting. What's my favorite Christmas movie? That's a hard question. I would say National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, All Christmas Story, Scrooged, The Muppets Christmas Carol. Off the top of my head are like 4 of the best ones that I would try to watch every single year. Okay? I don't know. There's other ones I like. I like all those old Rankin Bass Christmas specials. I grew up with them. I like Home Alone. I like Jingle All the Way. I like, Polar Express. I like watching that with my wife. My wife really likes that movie, so I enjoy watching that with her. Gremlins, sure. Gremlins is a Christmas movie. All these are great. And I've been watching. So far I've watched Christmas Vacation. That's the one I've watched so far this month. I will definitely be watching more by Christmas. So. I have no thoughts on the Hawk Tuah girl pulling a crypto scam. I've literally never seen her, heard her, know anything of her. I don't give a shit about her. I've never given her an actual, like, I don't think I've ever had a brain cell fire. Like, a neuron has never fired thinking about that person. And I would like to keep it that way. Thank you. Okay. All right. Guys, let's end the show. And thank you so much. Great show today. Like I said, once again, lots of topics to talk about. I had a great time. Hope that you did too. Tomorrow, we will be talking about Indiana Jones. Was it good? Was it not? I don't know. We're going to find out. And, of course, anything else that happens today we'll be discussing. But I am excited for the day. I'm excited to talk about it tomorrow. So, and, of course, tomorrow, Path of Exile too. So, all right, guys. Thank you so very much. Appreciate you coming by the show and hanging out. I'll see you all tomorrow for another fun one. Peace out.